and as lonesome as Sunday. There were no people, no wagons. There was no stir of life, nothing going on. The road was mainly a winding path with hoofprints in it. Presently, a fair slip of a girl, about 10 years old, came along. The circus man paid no attention to her. She was no more startled at his fantastic make-up than if she was used to his like every day of her life. She was going by as indifferently as she might have gone by a couple of cows, but when she happened to notice me, then there was a change. Up went her hands, and she turned to stone. Her mouth dropped open, her eyes stared wide. She was the picture of astonished curiosity touched with fear. And there she stood, gazing in a sort of stupefied fascination, till we turned a corner of the wood and were lost to her view. That she should seem to consider me a spectacle was a puzzling thing. In the town were some substantial windowless houses of stone, scattered among a wilderness of thatched cabins. The streets were unpaved crooked alleys. Troops of dogs and nude children played in the sun and made life and noise. Hogs roamed and rooted contentedly about, and one of them lay in a reeking wallow in the middle of the main thoroughfare and suckled a family. Presently a noble cavalcade wound into view, glorious, with plumed helmets and flashing mail and flaunting banners. And through the muck and swine, the naked brats and joyous dogs and shabby huts, it took its gallant way. And in its wake we followed through one winding alley and then another. The great gates were flung open, the drawbridge was lowered, and the head of the cavalcade swept forward under the frowning arches, and we, following, soon found ourselves in a great paved court. The moment I got a chance, I slipped aside privately and touched an ancient, common-looking man on the shoulder and said, in an insinuating, confidential way, "Friend, do me a kindness. Do you belong to the asylum? Or are you just here on a visit, or something like that?" He looked me over stupidly and said, "Marry, fair sir, me seemeth—" "That'll do," I said. "I reckon you're a patient." I moved away, cogitating, and at the same time keeping an eye out for any chance passenger in his right mind that might come along and give me some light. I judged I'd found one presently, an airy, slim boy in shrimp-colored tights, so I drew him aside. He began to talk and laugh in happy, thoughtless, boyish fashion as we walked along, and made himself old friends with me at once. He asked me all sorts of questions about myself and about my clothes, but never waited for an answer. Always chattered straight ahead, as if he didn't know he'd asked a question and wasn't expecting any reply, until at last he happened to mention that he was born in the beginning of the year 513. It made cold chills creep over me. I stopped and said a little faintly, "Maybe I didn't hear you just right. Say it again, and say it slow. What year was it?" 513. 513. You don't look it. Come, my boy, I'm a stranger and friendless. Be honest and honorable with me. Are you in your right mind? He said he was. Are these other people in their right minds? He said they were. Well, then I said, either I'm a lunatic or something just as awful has happened. Now tell me, honest and true, where am I? In King Arthur's court. I waited a minute to let that idea shudder its way home, and then said, "And according to your notions, what year is it now?" 528, 19th of June. I felt a mournful sinking at the heart and muttered, "I shall never see my friends again. Never, never again. They will not be born for more than 1,300 years yet." I seemed to believe the boy. I don't know why. I didn't know how to satisfy my suspicions, but all of a sudden I stumbled on the very thing just by luck. I knew that the only total eclipse of the sun in the first half of the 6th century occurred on the 21st of June, A.D. 528, and began at 3 minutes after 12 noon. I also knew that no total eclipse of the sun was due in what to me was the present year, that is, 1879. So, if I could keep my anxiety and curiosity from eating the heart out of me for 48 hours, I should then find out for certain whether this boy was telling me the truth or not. Wherefore, being a practical Connecticut man, I now shove this whole...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.